Hi there. Welcome into March of 2023. And I don't know about you, but I'm really starting to pick up on the intensity, this bubbling to the surface of divine discontent, of transformation, the change that is needing to occur deeply within myself, but also at this collective level. Really moving into some white water, fast moving times, and how do we navigate that? How do we see and know the energy that's coming and to best move through it? So that is what this video will be attempting to share and to illuminate with you. How do we meet these energies? How do we move with them instead of resisting and holding on to what is crumbling, what is old and what is outdated, and instead to be just more of in this receptive energy and presence. So that is just the tip of the iceberg for March 2023 with the astrology as well as the energy. My name is Chrissy Whistler. I am an intuitive, an astrologer, and I'm also a healer. And if you're needing support right now, if you're really going through a turbulent moment and you want to know what the heck's going on, why is this happening to me? Let's take a look at your birth chart and do a chart your stars reading where we can see what is the evolutionary intention of your soul this lifetime. What are you being asked to move through in this moment by your soul? So if that is interesting to you, please do reach out. You can find the information below or at my website, chrissywhistler.com. And please like this video if you find that the information is helpful and it resonates, as it really does help me to break through this YouTube algorithm to connect with other people like you. So thank you so much for your support, and thank you for being here at this moment in time. And I do have to apologize for any sounds that are getting picked up. There's a gardener out there blowing with the thing, and a helicopter is going overhead, and this is just the way this video is going. This is like my third or fourth attempt to even film this, so I'm just really trying to accept what is. So thank you for your understanding as well. So how are you doing? Like, truly, what is coming up for you in your life? What is it that you are moving through and going through? And the reason I ask is because when we share our stories, we find that there's a resonance with other people around us. And it is so helpful to know that you are not alone in going through that experience. So please let me know, especially as we really move into March, and again, this very turbulent time. It's going to be very fast paced. You might even be picking up on that already. Fast paced, really from right now, and this is truly going to be bringing us, slingshotting us forward into the next 2 years. And we see that especially with Pluto, who is in that last anaretic degree of Capricorn, 29 degrees, critical degree, and moving into Aquarius end of this month. And then Pluto will be doing this dance back and forth, and then finally moving forward in 2024, the end of 2024, into Aquarius. But I'm going to get on to all that for you. So just kind of like hold on to your seats. This is whitewater rafting, but we can move through this. And it is also, I don't want to say for the better, because that seems way too trivial. Way too dismissive of the depth of transformation and more metamorphosis that we are all in our personal lives and the collective going to be going through. So I guess we'll just kind of keep going into it. There's lots of parts, even within me, that are wanting to speak because the astrology is so intense. There's so much happening right now. You might have found this early part of March that your energy can be very scattered. Very difficulty focusing can be some of that. Very electrical, very charged. And there's a deep need as well as we're moving through this experience of March. Okay, I mentioned Pluto. We also have Saturn is going to be moving into Pisces. So these are outer planets, and it's a big deal when they make these shifts into signs. This is all energy that we're picking up right now. Our collective is feeling it. So take the time and the care that you need to rest, to nourish yourself into your body. We also have had a sun that's been very active. Some stunning aurora borealis throughout the world. And at the same time, it's like getting whoomph hit with it. Especially if you are sensitive to this electrical energy, the photonic light, and so forth. So that is also happening as well and weaving in with this astrology. So Jupiter and Chiron. I'm filming this on March 3rd, which means we also have Venus in there as well. I'm sure all of the news outlets that you follow are showing these beautiful pictures of Venus and Jupiter and their kiss that they're doing. So Venus is in this conjunction as well. But Jupiter and Chiron, they're going to be exact on March 11th, and that's taking place at 14 degrees Aries. This is a really big healing signature. This is a warrior energy. This is about sovereignty, being an individual, a trailblazer, really going to the beat of your own drum and the open roads that you need to take you there. This is a rising up energy, an initiation, a taking a stand to reclaim and to heal, Chiron, those energies. And that is also having a lot to do with sexuality, desires, autonomy. So Jupiter is this planet of expansion. Jupiter's really bringing a magnifying glass to those Aries energies, to these wounds that we have around desires, freedom, sovereignty, and it's magnifying them. Chiron is the deep wounds that our soul is carrying from many lifetimes past. And if you are going through a deep healing experience around this, Chiron transits can be very intense. It may feel like you're on the operating table and you've just been cut open and there's been no anesthesia and you've just been stitched up. Like, it's this raw, vulnerable feeling, this exposing. It's like, whoosh, you're going deep into the underworld of those energies. So, again, this is about our vitality, our energy, our life force, and how that might have been kept from us. Or you could have this experience, this feeling that the wind has been knocked out of you because you just got punched in the gut. And this is around our unique selves or our desires. So be aware that if you're having that kind of experience and these deep, painful wounds are coming up for you, don't shy away from them. Go into them. Go into that underworld of Chiron, because Chiron is also bringing this beautiful, important gift. Because it's where we have been deeply wounded, is the opportunity for us to become wounded healers. that wound itself becomes the gift, and that we can be a healer and a wisdom keeper, a trailblazer even of that knowledge and that information. And that's this powerful energy that's really taking place right now. And as I said, Venus, she's there at the beginning of this March energy. And so she's bringing in this. This is around relationships. This is around what we value, what we love. Sorry, just had one of my little ones come in and give me check and see what I'm doing. So yes, there could be a lot of healing taking place around relationships. Clearing that energy, I could feel that it was building and wanted to come out. Relationships, what we value, embodying, being in the body, the five senses. So how do we value our individuality? And how do we do this balancing act and this listening of the individual desires and then the desires of others? So there's this new cycle that's beginning, this healing that Venus is bringing forward. We also have March 1st, Saturn is in that 29 degrees of Aquarius. So I mentioned that anaretic degree that Pluto is in. Saturn is there as well, but in Aquarius. So, and Mercury is conjunct. So this can very much be bringing up new structures and systems for these revolutionary ideas that might be coming through, ways of communicating, pioneering new grounds, or you might be having this experience of restriction, constriction on those new ideas and thought processes. That Saturn is really coming in to say, you're not going to be repeating those karmic cycles of the past. You've done that previously, it didn't work. So I'm going to hold on to you, not let you go barreling forward. This is the Saturn energy. Saturn is making us work for it. Saturn is making us work for these new ideas, these progressive ideas, revolutionary, these new communities, these new ways of doing community, new ways of communicating. Because Saturn is kind of like that mean math teacher, making us work for it. Saturn is teaching us how strong and capable we truly are, but Saturn does that through that and holding on. So this can be coming up for you like no, you cannot think that way or do it that way. That's not how it's been done in the past. This is the way that we do it. Saturn's also traditions, okay? And this can very much be bringing up themes from the past because these planets are trine to the South Node, which is in Scorpio. Ruler of Scorpio is Pluto. So lots of Pluto energy coming in. I'm going to continue to get more into that. But just know that you can have these past experiences, deep soul memories, because Scorpio, Pluto is the soul. This is our unconscious. And so where these might have been kept secret or a mystery to us, and it's like there's this revolutionary need to push through those old energies, those old beliefs and structures to reach into the future itself, almost by defying those past systems and structures. Now, I mean, I just had my own personal experience about this. Like, it was like I got this letter in the mail from the government, and it was like pulling me into a cycle that I thought I had completed 18 months ago. And so it's like, okay, this clearly isn't finished. So what is it I need to see in myself, in this mirror, in this reflection? My parts are having lots of opinions and feelings about this. So I need to go into that and see where is this healing that's needing to occur. So just know that that can be some of your experience, and let me know if it is. But do know as well that that will be moving forward. So keep leaning into it. Keep going into that darkness. You might have an easier time seeing and labeling those past memories, rules, conditions, to see them from this higher, more objective perspective. And that's a little bit of what I did, is after I allowed myself the space to feel what the parts needed to express, then it was like, okay, let's pull back and see, why is this experience coming up? What in this lesson is my higher self kind of like poking Chrissy in this human body of like, did you learn your lesson? Did you learn the lesson? Did you learn the lesson? And so that's kind of what it was for me. And being able to pull back, I could see that clearer with more objectivity. And to weave in as well some of the galactic Mayan astrology, we did have a new wave spell, a new 13-day cycle started on the 1st of March, and it's the hand wave spell. So this can be a lot about hands-on healing, mudra, creative work, divination, astrology. So if you've been feeling called to have an intuitive reading or an astrology reading, for example, by yourself or someone like me, this is an excellent time to do that. And if you are interested in having a reading done by me, please, contact me and let's get in touch and let's really catalyze and use the energy of this moment for what it is to best work and support you. As I mentioned, Saturn is moving into Pisces on March 8th. And then Saturn's going to be there for about 2.5, 3 years. And then we've got Pluto moving into Aquarius at the end of March. We also have the March equinox on the 20th. So that's the start of a new astrological year. Pluto is also square to the moon's nodes, and that square is going to tighten and tighten over these next few months. So there's going to be this feeling of this ping pong effect, this reverberation back and forth, growing tension between the moon's nodes. I've talked so much about this, but the moon's node, the north node is in Taurus, south node is in Scorpio. And that reverberation back and forth is getting faster, more intense. It's like there's, I'm just kind of like trying to tune into this for you. It's like the intensity is growing, the manipulation, the drama, the push, 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 moving forward. And then all of a sudden, it just boom, opens up. And then we have slowness, open roads, unexpected blessings, Taurus, nature. And then whoosh, there comes this intensity again, ping pong back and forth with that south node in Scorpio and Pluto and the Titan square of Pluto. This creative tension that we will be feeling all through our life, as well as being playing out on this collective level. There is this need for slowness, for what we love and value, and then there's also the drama playing out, this intensity. Secrets coming to life from the deepest parts of our own souls and psyche, as well as our collective experience, what has been kept from us. Transformation, evolution, this confronting death, getting pushed to the very limits of our abilities so we can transcend those limitations, and then whoosh, there's this breakthrough of Taurus coming in and saying, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're going into slowness. Get me away from everyone, everything. The struggles over finances, money, resources, land, exchanges, value, That's going to continue. Again, it's like the old structures, Capricorn, the ways of doing things, crumbling, falling away, but the new hasn't really been set up yet. What is that new? And it's like just taking an absolute trust fall into this future, into the unknown. This very intense period of regeneration that we are entering. It's like this rebirth process really started in 2021, but it's going to continue. And that's the Scorpio-Taurus polarity. Now, I will say that reverberation, that tightening is going to continue into July. And then as the moon's node switches signs into Aries and Libra, that intensity is going to start to ebb. That square with Pluto is going to start to move away. And yet, at this other level, we have Pluto doing that dance between Capricorn and Aquarius. So we'll still be feeling that. We're still going to be, again, crumbling down of these old systems and structures that are not working, where they have been distorted, where there's been too much pushing, go, 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 be productive, be successful, survival of the fittest at all costs. We don't need emotional intelligence. We don't need slowness. We don't need to take care of our own inner child, our own inner needs. So it's that learning piece that we're going to continue to feel into, to move through. But again, just to kind of give you almost like a higher vantage point of what's up and what we kind of expect. And if you are really going through this intense period of time, please know that your experiences is real and it is being experienced by so many people. We are doing this deep collective shadow work experience of going down into the depths, where we are being reborn, our whole identity, our whole persona. This Scorpio and Pluto process it's bringing up what has been hidden in our unconscious, in our desires, even ourselves, the world, to light. And it's when we make these things conscious, this is so we can then heal and integrate them. So we can stop reacting from those old patterns, behaviors, triggers, and beliefs. Clearing that energy. And so from the very beginning of this year and into early March, we've been in this dreaming state, this reaching far beyond our understanding, almost like information gathering. And now as we're coming into March, there's a quickening. The pace is picking up towards an actual rebirth. And yet the birthing process is generally not easy or fun. And for those of you who are in female bodies and who have given birth, you can attest to this. You know what I mean. The baby is wonderful and amazing, yet the process of birth is incredibly painful. And this, again, this being like taken to the very core of ourselves, this real breaking down. And what's coming through to share too is reflect on your own life. Those moments where you have completely changed. I'll bet that is not when things were really easy and going smooth. I'll bet those are those moments where you were on the bathroom floor sobbing or felt so completely alone, just gutted from this experience that you went through. And yet, it's by going down to that depth and that level and the strength and the courage to pick yourself back up again. That is the moment that shifted within you, made you stronger, made you more capable. And guess what? That at work, that's Pluto. That is also Saturn. Saturn is really here to teach us how strong and capable we truly are, to give ourselves our own self-recognition of our authority, our skills, our capabilities. So that is what we are all going through this experience, and it's a choice. I mean, what's happening in our lives, in the world, that's not necessarily a choice. You know, I certainly didn't choose to get this, consciously choose to get that letter from the government. That had me reliving some very deep past life experiences even. And yet the choice became, what am I going to do with this truth in front of me, this reality of this letter? And for you in your life, whatever that is, what are you going to do with that truth, that reality piece? That's where we have the free will and the sovereignty really coming in. This is also a time where we can have this experience of not knowing the right direction. There can be many directions that we're exploring before we actually know of, like, this is the direction that's right for me. This is the door that's right for me. I'm actually going through this experience myself of the content that I'm providing to you. You know, I love doing intuitive readings. I love doing the astrology. And yet it's like, where's the real feedback coming from? Where's the real energy exchange? What door is the right one for me to keep going through? Like, I don't know. And I'm going through this very deep, not easy process of figuring that out and being in that liminal space. I don't know which is the right door for me. So let me know if that's some of the experiences you've been having and how that might be showing up in your life. And if it is, again, please know I'm going through it too, just like you. And I have the astrology and I'm looking at it and I know what's coming. And yet I'm also still going through that same experience. And trying to just have some more ease and grace of knowing, like, okay, it's okay that I don't even know what the right door is. And know as well that some of these doors can very well be the doors of our unconscious. And it's going through the process of truly seeing them and what they represent before we then know which door is truly ours. And what has been ours from the past, our lineage, our ancestors. So this energy is really about finding elegant flow, to not rush ahead, but to still be still. To be still and to listen so we can then know which is the right direction to even take. Now, as well, we have the full moon coming up on March 7th. This is taking place at 16 degrees of Virgo, 4:40 a.m. Pacific time. So look to see where that falls in your chart. And if you want to know what that means for you, do please contact me. At this moon, okay, the moon is going to be opposite, at this full moon, the moon will be opposite to the sun, as usual, who's in Pisces, conjunct Neptune and Mercury. So this moon is going to be illuminating, shining a light on all things related to Virgo. So this can be about purifying your energy, your heart, your mind, old identities that are breaking down, being shed, being reborn. Very Plutonic experience, okay, going through that. This can also be about connection to Source itself or God. How you might even be communicating with nature, the collective, with consciousness of our collective. Have our processes and procedures actually been good containers for this flow of information, love, wisdom, inspiration to actually come through, or do we need to make improvements? How can we strive for perfection and not get stopped in our tracks when we realize what we're doing isn't perfect? That's this dichotomy of Virgo. Virgo wants perfect, and yet the reality of our world is there is no such thing as perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. We can always continue to refine and to make better. And can we be okay with that? Where do we need firm boundaries in our lives, especially around discernment? Are we actually healthy throughout our whole body, our whole system? It's another aspect of Virgo. How can we be of service? This is a really big question at this full moon, with this polarity between Virgo and Pisces. You can also be feeling very overwhelmed. And if that's true for you, go ground. Be in nature. Listen to soothing music. If you're feeling anxious, one of my favorite solfeggio frequencies is 362 hertz. So that can really help. 369. 369. You can find that on YouTube, and you can stream it for like 9-12 hours and have it playing in the background, maybe even as you sleep. That can help if you're struggling with sleep because of these anxious thoughts, this scattering, this energy going bum 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 bum. We also have Mars square to Mars is square at this full moon, so again, we can have that experience of mental energy being really scattered, our physical energy and vitality very scattered. We can have a difficult time keeping our focus because of all this information that's coming at us and can be overwhelming. Also, this overwhelming of this mental need to discern what the heck is going on in our world, because it's so much to discern what is truth, what is fact, what is fantasy, what is illusion and delusion. And it's like tuning in and asking our body, how does this information feel in my body? Not in my mind, but in my body and in my heart. Again, lots of information is coming at us. Can be a lot of confusion, anger as well coming forward. So if you feel that and you find yourself kind of getting put, spiraled down into anger, into fear, uncertainty, really tune back into your heart. Let your feelings of the heart, okay, Venus, be your guide. Now, I mentioned there's a lot of energy with March, but it's not all bad. The breaking down experience, the crumbling, might not be fun to go through. But the astrology is also very clear of what is being built through this crumbling process. So we have the dwarf planet Orcus is at 14 degrees of Virgo. So Orcus is conjunct that moon. Orcus is the god of the underworld who punishes those who violated sacred, natural law and divine order. So there is this energy around divine justice coming through, especially towards oath breakers, and a need to see the truth. But in order to see the truth, we have to go down into the underworld, our unconscious, Pluto, to see what has been hidden and kept secret. This is also the journey that the south node of the moon in Scorpio has been taking us on for about a year now. And that, again, will continue to increase. That pressure, that need to find truth in the shadows is going to increase. So just know that you can be revisiting these past agreements, these ancestral agreements, collective agreements. including agreements that aren't even known to us. But it's like as we go into them and revisit them, we are asking, are these agreements actually good for us? This is about discerning if those agreements are good for our health. Are they in tune with our natural rhythms, or are they someone else's priority? And if they are, can we let that go? Can we have boundaries of what we are no longer allowing in our energy field, in our bodies? Pluto is also trine with Sedna, and Sedna's got about 11,000 year orbit, okay? She's the Inuit goddess of the sea, of the deep, dark depths. Are you guys kind of picking up on a theme here? And she's at 28 degrees of Taurus. In June, she's going to be moving into Gemini. Now, as I said, 11,000 year orbit. Her moving into another sign is a big deal. It doesn't happen very often. So, and that's again really lining us up with the eclipse cycle that we have coming. And then in July, we have the moon's nodes are going to be moving. So like there's all this energy and this force that's coming to support us through these experiences. Sedna's energy is really representing death, rebirth. This, and in Taurus, this is again a theme around money, the economy, our values, how we are doing exchanges with each other, within ourselves, around our resources, all these things that are earth. And Sedna's desire in her myth is about holding on, to remain fixed, Taurus, holding on to what has been. And yet it's when she's forced to let go and settle into the depths of the oceans that out being birthed from her are these beautiful sea creatures from her body. So again, life, death, rebirth from the depths. What do we need to let go of? And then, of course, as I mentioned, Saturn is moving into Pisces the day after this full moon. And I'm going to continue to be exploring Saturn and Pisces. I don't want this video to be like 2 hours long because it certainly can be. There's just that much going on in the astrology and these energies. We are really pushing off into the unknown. We are heading into, again, these choppy, turbulent waters. There can be this experience of social unrest, all this stuff that needs to come to the surface, to be brought from the darkness and into the light. And again, we are going to be seeing this around finances at that global level. Also, a lot of turbulence and potential chaos from the 14th of March and into this Aries equinox on the 20th. I'm going to go into more of that as we move through this month, so just know that that's coming. We'll see that specifically with Venus conjunct Eris, also square to Pluto. Pluto is really making himself known. But again, this isn't all about death and destruction. There's rebirth. There is creation. We have Manway dancing in that 0 degrees of Aries, and Manway is all about divine intention. And Manway is there at that 0 degrees, and the sun is going to be there at the equinox on the 20th. And then we have the new moon on the 21st in Aries. So again, there's a lot happening, but I hope I'm making it clear that there's so much supportive forces around us, even as we may be required. We might be getting pushed over the edge, whether or not we want to, from our unconscious, our soul, these experiences in the world. And yet, there is so much opportunity. evolution, transformation that is available to us. And it's about, can we meet these energies? Can we move with them and not resist, not get caught up in the storm, and yet instead, can we be in the middle? Can we be in the eye of the storm, that calm pillar? Calm. Stay calm. Again, I said pillar. We have these very clear pillars of light of our way forward. This golden age is the Aquarian age that we're coming into, and we really see that as we bring in these Kuiper belt objects. And yet we're still human and still on this planet in our bodies, and that can be a turbulent, fearful time, not easy. So ground yourself. Again, go be in nature. There will be dramas and distractions, and we have that choice for us to become sucked down into that drama, to have our focus, our energy, our intention, because where our attention goes, our intention follows. We can have it go there, or we can come within to our hearts and hold our energy there, as well as our dreams. And can you feel those dreams stirring on your soul? Can you feel this pull, this vibration, this whisper that's telling you more is possible? Don't rush full steam ahead, but listen. Be mindful and receptive to that deeper, quieter intuition that's coming from within yourself or from source, from earth, from your higher consciousness. But that whisper, that voice is going to be directing you towards the door that is right for you and this new path that is opening up. So the energies for March, okay, we're still getting our affairs in order. We're still finding the right structures and balance. And we're also feeling this energy of it's like lift-off time. It's coming, it's building, it's growing. And we are going to start to feel some really big energetic shifts taking place throughout March. And as we go through March, I will be sure to share that with you, what I'm sensing and feeling and going through. But truly, keep your eye on the prize that is within you, and do not waver from that. Because if you do, if you hold to that energy, that intention, there, or even you will be supported. And when you have those moments of feeling low and hopeless and lost, have the people around you to hold you up and buoy you through those moments. And then when you're feeling high and strong and calm, you will then be able to reciprocate that for them. This linking arms together, sharing our energy, our resources, this is this Aquarian age, this golden age we're coming into. We're moving away from this Capricorn structure of top down. This is what equals success, nothing else does. And we're moving into a whole new paradigm with growing pains included as we figure that out. So as you go through those growing pains, navigate from your heart. Let your heart be your guide forward. I truly hope that was helpful. If you, again, would like some support, if you want to know why you're having the experiences that you're doing, let's connect and do a birth chart reading and see what the heck your soul is asking you to do and to go through at this moment in time. It is very helpful to have the astrology reflecting your experience and validate what you're going through. And please like this video, subscribe to this channel. That really helps me so much. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. And I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.